And welcome back, fellow members of the Ice Court. This is Heir of the Motherland, and we are going to continue the Tsarina Katerin campaign with the Ice Court, and we are in part 3. If you haven't seen the other 2 parts, I do have them in a playlist, and you will be able to binge all the goodness from this campaign as much as you want. Now, when we last left, we had captured some of the Norskin lands up here. We now have allies in control of the remaining land there. See these 2 settlements. So they control a couple of them. That's fine. You know, as long as they're in Kislevite hands, that's better than nothing. We do still have some Norskins out and about raiding, but we do have garrisons building up at all these locations too that should be able to hold off small armies. The portals are open, and it's going to be time for us to travel through the portal. We don't want to delay it for a long time. It's risky for me to put money into these settlements over here because we have enemies out and about. I am using a, Igorov, 3 turns. 3 turns I can have a garrison in Igorov. That seems like it'd be worth it because it helps slow this army down.
No higher power
We've got this Urson thing going off right now, which is causing attrition to all enemy armies in our territory for 7 more turns, so it's going to eat away at Grigor here. Let's go ahead and end our turn and get ready to enter the portal. As far as comments go, I'm not going to be able to get to every single comment, but a lot of comments you all said that you appreciate the difficulty I play on because you like seeing something that's maybe more roleplay based and less, you know, cheese of necessity, I think is the way to put it, right? Like you're cheesing, but that's the way you play the difficult one. So I appreciate that. There was a lot of support for that, and that's certainly the reason I play this. I enjoy the game more that way. Some people commented, I don't know if it was on this one or the Tzeentch one, that they wanted to see it be less of me explaining things and more of it being roleplay thing, like it was with the Archaon campaign. I'm fine with that, and I will try and do some role-playing. For now, though, we don't really have a bunch of other characters or armies, so there's not much for me to roleplay other than that we're Tsarina, and we are going to do our best to serve the motherland. Speaking of serving the motherland, let's see what kind of troops we could pull in here. We've got a fair number of archers. I don't really want any more archers, but I could use a couple of more Cassars as we go into this. Let's grab a couple of Cassars and head into Chaos territory on the next turn. It's going to really chew into any income, but by winning battles, we can earn more income. So we should be all right. They didn't attack me here, which just continue to allow my garrison to get stronger. That's good. These rebels? Yeah, they're Norse rebels. So yeah, we're probably going to lose some territory while we're gone. May even drive us into the negative, but if we win enough battles, we should be able to overcome it. That's just going to have to be the best bet we can make. But yeah, as far as the storytelling, I will try to do some. However, this game is still very new. This is early access. That is why I'm spending so much time explaining things, because I also want these videos to be helpful for people as they begin their first campaign. And the cinematic battles, honestly, like I'm not going to be able to do them on every campaign like I am right now. In fact, I may have to stop on one of these campaigns, not all of them, because it takes so much longer to record. But again, I'm doing that because I want people to see the new units and see the new map. Like I feel like all those things are really important for people as we're really close to the launch of the game. Lets you have an opportunity to see, is this game worth it? Is this something I want? Does it look good enough? I always go to Khorne first. The Exiles of Khorne are in this realm too. I'm trying to think whether I'd really want to fight them. We could go to one of these other ones. Wouldn't be that big of a deal. The Dark Prince's realm is a long time in the making. You have an opportunity to leave it with a ton of money too, which is tempting early on, but I really don't want to leave without something. I mean, we could just go in here. Let's just go in here and beat the Exiles of Khorne, because when we beat them, we can get a lot of cash from beating them.
The realm of chaos, a place unbound. The constraints of the mortal dimensions have no effect here. Only the whims of the dark gods matter. Yet there are places where no ruinous power claims influence. In the Forge of Souls, Be'lakor lurks, and Urson dies. Until we have the 4 demon prince souls, it will remain out of reach the blood god's domain. Upon its blood-strewn ground, armies of demons clash in gladiatorial contests of unending slaughter. Battle through this cauldron of war and reach the brass citadel. There you will find the gatekeeper, the favored demon prince of Khorne. Kill him to claim his soul.
You looked at me with eyes of hatred and rage, and now the fury is mine.
Alright, some strange whispering, and welcome to the realm of Khorne. Skarbrand is here. Got a pretty decent army here. Nothing to scoff at. We can't move this turn. He may attack us on the next turn. That would totally be fine, honestly. Because we're gonna have to fight him one way or the other to make our way through this and to get enough favor in the realm of the Blood God here. That'd be funny, us getting more skulls than Skarbrand in the realm of the Blood God. That would just be somewhat poetic. Anyway, we need to just hurry and take care of business, and he attacks us, and that is, like I said, that's actually a good thing. It says we're gonna lose. I can see why. Like, in a melee, we get absolutely clobbered. But that's the thing, is it doesn't do a great job of taking into account your precursor pistols. It also doesn't do a great job of taking into account your archers. So I think we can win. We're gonna certainly try to. They do have a skull cannon and a blood shrine. We'll have to watch out for those. Otherwise, it's really just all about doing enough damage to these bloodletters so that they can't win in a melee. And folks, behold Skarbrand the Exiled. His wings destroyed for his contempt. And now we are fighting him in what really looks like his home turf. I mean, this should be home field advantage for Khorne, right? Look at the background here. It's suited perfectly to him. The giant, like, lake of blood over here. It's like the Washington Monument got doused in blood, taken over by chaos. And the backgrounds are really beautiful. They even got a corn mower. Love the corn mower. Such a cool looking unit. It's absolutely awesome. There's gonna be a ton of bloodletters. Sorry, it goes into slow-mo because I was using an army ability here. Just slowing them down, messing with them. I'm trying to goad Khorne into coming and attacking me so that I can sit over here in this excellent defensive position and just absolutely unload our missiles into Khorne's army. Look at this, Kislev, baby. Man, I want some Kislev miniatures to paint for tabletop. Games Workshop, please. I know it'll take away all my money, but still. So yeah, looking really nice over there as far as the Kislevite troops, and I've got Katerin and our kitty here doing some bear baiting, is what I like to call this, right? So basically, for Kislev, we like to call it bear baiting. So we go and we bait a unit back into range of our ranged units, and the more you can kill before the main battle commences, the better, right? Because Kislev is all based on its missile damage, really. Like, yes, they have some decent melee capability, but the damage you do from range is worth a ton in keeping your army healthy and alive for the next battle. So we're gonna continue this bear baiting tactic that Tsarina Katerin likes. See, it worked on the Chaos Furies. They are absolutely messed up right now. They're gonna take more fire from our Ice Guard. Now they get to take a bloodbath. And that is enough. It gets the attention of Skarbrand's army, and his Gore-Beast chariots come lumbering forward. Skarbrand himself, now this dude is an absolute tank in melee, and we do not want him to be in melee. So I've got a special concoction of Kislev ice magic ready for him when he shows up. You can see I'm now using a spell to increase the range and accuracy of a little selected group of ranged troops. Now here comes the first slowing spell I'm gonna hit Skarbrand with, so he goes minus 25% speed. There's gonna be another one that's frostbite attack, so now he is down at 36 speed, and then I'm gonna hit him with another ability here. So you can see Skarbrand is knocked all the way down to 16 speed, so he is basically glued to the ground, and I am just unleashing missile salvos on him at this point. I've used my cavalry to kind of hold back the Gore-Beast chariots and minimize their damage. Skarbrand does finally get to melee, but look at the damage. We did 75% health damage plus him before he ever got into a melee. Now, he is now in melee, and it's going to be brutal. You can see his little ability here, Rage Embroiled, now rampages Katarina, and she is in, or Tsarina Katarin, sorry. She is in a rough spot right now, because I can't remove her from combat, and Skarbrand is absolutely waylaying her there for that ice cheese, but he ran out of hit points, and so Tsarina Katarin survives to tell another tale, and you can see how badly he was crapping on her at melee. This is why you do not want to get into melee with Khorne as Kislev. You really need to take advantage of all your precursor missiles, and then let your archer line or your Streltsy line absolutely unleash. You can see the Khazars here are very effective against low armor units, like extremely effective, in fact. So make sure you fire every last bit of precursor ammunition you can get. Use your ice magic, slow things down, use your single entities to cheese if you can, and just hold the enemy back. As you can see, for instance, when they get me in melee, it's not fantastic. So you see over here, we're gonna take some damage in melee for sure. But when you keep them at range, Kislev is just massively dominant. Like, they will put down an absolute shellacking on just about anybody who attacks them. So you can see demons are unstable all over the place. They're crumbling away. Katarin's gonna now come into melee to help support. I've got my Patriarch supporting as well with his heals and other buffs, and I'm gonna call in special bombardment here. This is the Hailstorm bombardment. Try and catch those Chaos Warriors in it. They moved around. Still, we're getting a really good engagement. All the demons have crumbled, and then at this point, it's just the Warriors of Chaos who remain. I'm gonna get a few extra kills on them before we end the battle, so this is a big victory for Tsarina Katarin. All right, well, that was a pretty epic victory. Not a lot there for Katarin to do. That's a tough fight for her, other than use her ice magic. And then you all saw my tactic there, the quote-unquote bear baiting, right? Where we bait units forward into the range of our Khazars and archers, and it works pretty well. I mean, look at the value this unit got here. That was nuts. So some of my Khazars were getting extremely good value, and it's because they had high-value targets, and they got to expend almost all their precursors. So we basically look at the Ice Guard here, too. They never even got into melee, and they picked up that much value. Ice Guard are brutal from range, and even these cheap Khazars, look at the damage these guys can do. Don't underestimate it, and make sure that when you're fighting, you do so in a way that's going to maximize the enemy spending as much time as possible in front of your missiles, right? That's your aim, is keep them sitting right in front of your missiles. Now, we picked up a lot of money for beating Khorne because they, Skarbrand's in a difficult foe. I'm going to actually take the replenishment so that we can get back into fighting condition quicker, try and fight our way through the realm of Khorne as quickly as possible and get home, because, boy, there's going to be problems on the home front. Those rifts are going to cause us some issues. Now, you can close them with agents. It costs you 1,500 per rift. Close them. It's worth it later on in the game for sure. At this point, since almost all of my income is coming from one settlement anyway, not terribly worried about it. We got to go back and retake some stuff anyway, so it is what it is. I'm not gonna get too fussed over it. Let's see. Got something going on with our Ottoman here, so we can pick Horse Comrade and get recruit rank for cavalry, so we can get Purger. Let's take the Purger, so we can try to fight back Chaos Corruption, though with all these rifts here, that's not really going to be happening. Check our defenses. Defenses at Kislev are good. We should probably upgrade again now that we have some extra cash on hand. Losing Kislev would lose us the campaign, so it is not a risk that we should or can take. Going to get into a camp stance so that we can replenish, and we'll fight our way through. We got some nice points off of Khorne, but if we go defeat these two armies, off of Ooh, Kugath is here. That actually sucks, because if we pick up a plague from him, then we're not going to be able to replenish, so I freaking hate Kugath. But, the funny thing, if you all like irony, I hate Kugath and he drives me crazy when I'm playing against him, but guess who I'm playing when I host the Twitch channel for Total War on the 16th? I'm going to be on their Twitch channel on the 16th, which is a Wednesday, and I have to play as Kugath. So it is poetic irony for me that I'm going to be fighting Kugath, and should be entertaining. Let's see here what I want to do with Katarin. This melee defense for Ice Guard is really cool. There's speed, there's devotion gain per turn that would be very handy. And then there's ward save for the entire army, which is really good, that Shield of Ice. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working my way through this tree. Getting some really weird, it's not gonna show up on your screen, but my screen keeps like going black and stuff. It happens sometimes when I have multiple monitors going and I've tabbed out. I'm gonna see if I can get it to act any better. Like I said, you won't see it on your end because it keeps recording regardless in my, what do you call it, my recording software. We got Con Queen. Devotion is nice, but it's not supporters, and we really want supporters. Let's go ahead and buff Katerin. She's gonna need some melee buffs. We have to put enough here to get Shield of Ice. 8% ward save for every unit in your army is pretty bonkers. Like that's pretty good. You definitely want to try and get that. Let's get this magic reserves, and then we're about to finish up with Arcane Conduit so we can pull down the Winds of Magic faster. And with our Patriarch, we finished Salik's Lullaby, we've got Ursun's Roar, and so now I think we should spend some points on Impassioned to make him a little harder to be hit in a melee, and we'll slowly work our way through here, making him stronger. Eventually the Patriarchs get to be, you know, they're not amazing, but they're decently tanky units when you get into the combat. See, these guys are taking a ton of attrition, so it's actually really working out nice for us. Let's just let them keep sieging us. They're killing themselves by sitting there sieging me, because they're going to continue to take attrition as long as they're in enemy territory, and as long as that city belongs to me, they're in enemy territory. So when they take it, you know, that'll be a different story. But for the time being, it works out just fine in my favor. Volkskrad. Tempted to build that up because we're going to get some more money here. Then I'd also need to build up the garrison. Speaking of garrisons, let's make sure we didn't get sieged anywhere over here. We haven't. We've got allies in the vicinity of these chaos characters.
We are disrespected.
I'm still hesitant to build anything here because there's probably going to be an army come spawning out of that portal here soon. So I don't think I'm ready to spend any money there. Let's save it. We might end up having to go into the negative. I'm gonna play it a little bit safe here and just stay away from spending too much money on anything. Really worried about that. Faction destroyed. And let's go check out our army here, which is mostly healed up. It's ready enough. Go get in a fight, and the next fight is gonna be with Hod. Some of you might be like, Air, why do you always go to the Realm of Khorne first? Well, it's pretty simplistic. And since I don't have a lot of defenses at home, it's relatively easy for me to get in and out of the Realm of Khorne. We've fought these guys before. Let's just auto-resolve this one. Looks like it's going to be pretty nice to us. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible.
Send them to the labor camps.
We can get back into a camp stance. So we just need to kill Grizz Guts here. And then we will be ready. It looks like Kugath is heading to get a weapon, and that is a cool thing to do, to go get one of these weapons from Khorne. But I don't really have time at the moment. There's downsides to those Khorne weapons as well. They have negative effects. But still, one way or the other, let's get the leadership and melee defense for Ice Guard, and devotion and diplomatic relations with other Kislev factions. It'd be better if we could just, in some ways, make peace with some of the other Kislev factions. I'd like to control Prague because it's a lot of income, but if we could make peace with them, that would be doable as well. Just because they could act as a buffer between us and the demons, and if the demons get them, then eventually, you know, we'll just go take that settlement that they couldn't defend. So, you know, it just depends on how all that works out. So I'm gonna again just save my money because we are not getting a whole lot of it, and we're gonna play it safe. Finish our battles in the Realm of Khorne, and go to take on the Gatekeeper. All right. Back to the Realm of Khorne we go. So Legion of Chaos went into the Realm of the Sorcerer. So everybody's pretty busy, but we deprived Skarbrand of his opportunity to claim a soul. So that's gonna put them behind the 8 ball, and that is good. Look, Kugath is Kugath is at war with us, and he's almost got enough to come over here and fight the battle. I really don't want to fight him because we're going to end up getting Plague, but I also just don't know that we have a lot of options. So I'm going to go attack Grizz Guts, and I'm going to use... I'm going to fight this one manually so that we can try and get a cleaner victory and get plenty of replenishment before Kugath rolls over, which he probably will. Grizz Guts is always hanging out close to the Brass Citadel. I guess this guy thinks he's going to make it in there one day, and he's got his traditional 2 Hydra double feral Carnosaur Swig army, which I guess is his own special brand of Badlands brew that he brings into melee in the realms of Khorne. See, he's got Squigs and Squig Hoppers. Now, Zarina Katerin is going to give him much the same treatment that she did to Skarbrand, and she is set up over here. She is not happy about having to be in the realm of Khorne. Does not like her pleasant home in Kislev where everything is frozen. So she does not like this. She's gonna get out here and interrupt the Squig Hoppers. I really don't want Squig Hoppers and Squigs smashing into my Cassars, and my Cassars aren't even fully in position yet because I had to get in a position. They are now. They're gonna start unleashing their precursor volleys, and I've targeted the feral Carnosaur. Doesn't heal, and then I've got my secondary line that's gonna start pouring fire into the Hydra. So we're really trying to beat down the Carnosaur because it is a big threat to my Snow Leopard and to Zarina Katerin. You see the Squigs rolling around everywhere. In fact, one unit of Squigs is going to come from the flank. I use my Patriarch to try and hold it back, but unfortunately for me, we did take a rear charge. Squigs are good against armor, which makes them not bad, honestly, up against my Cassars. Look at good damage. Look at that Hydra spewing its fiery breath, but it is taking an absolute beating from my missile line. And you can see it already got some healing off there, and it is already turning tail and running. The feral Carnosaur has decided to do the same. We beat back the first couple of SEMs, but it wasn't without damage. See, Katerin took a beating, and our Snow Leopard took a little bit of damage there as well, but we managed to deal with 1 War Hydra and 1 Carnosaur, and now we just have to deal with the others, and they are coming from this flank. The Hydra is already here, and I've got missiles trained into it. You can see my Ice Guard cutting into its thick hide. And here comes the Carnosaur. Not good for my Winged Lancers. And honestly, Winged Lancers are a fun unit. I'm not sure I love where they're at in the game, though. They're just really kind of boring. Like, they're good against low armor. They're kind of fun to use, but they don't really serve a ton of purpose in the game. Kislev ends up focusing everywhere. They look beautiful, and so do the Griffin Legion. They look very similar. Both units are cool, but I don't feel like they're very impressive. We'll talk more about them when we get to an opportunity too, but yeah, anyway, the Carnosaur and the Hydra, now basically all that's left for Grizz Guts' army, and at this point I'm just trying to shut this battle down as quickly as possible, because the sooner it ends, the less casualties we get inflicted on us, and the quicker we can be recovered and into the Brass Citadel. I love seeing the snow falling in the realm of Khorne, thanks to Zarina Katerin's magic. It's quite beautiful. Got the lava blood lightning in the background, but it's still snowing outside. Let it snow, folks. Let it snow. So yeah, you can see that the Carnosaur and the War Hydra are going to be sent packing. There is no more damage for them to do here, and that is going to be the end of Grizz Guts and his army. In fact, Grizz Guts is now being given a parting gift from his Zarina. Just a bunch of ice arrows to the back. All right, well, that was, again, a very solid victory. Zarina Katerin is really there just to slow people down so that you can get the kills you need. Let's take a look at what replenishment's available to us. Not a lot. You get some extra cash, but it also slows our replenishment rate, so I guess I'll just take what I can get because Kugath is near. Don't love that Kugath is near because that means plagues are impending. Let's see what Kugath is up to. I can't replenish on this turn end either. It's a bit frustrating. Kugath is at war with us because all Chaos factions are immediately at war with us. So he's probably just going to come attack us on the next turn. I'm looking at his movement points. He could get outside his range for a turn. Did he... I don't remember if he went and picked up one of the weapons from Khorne. I think he did. We need to kill him. He's already taken damage too, so I'm just gonna go into an ambush, honestly, and then if he heads this way, maybe we can get the jump on him and kill him real good. Let's get this Frost Affinity because then we can get Shield of Ice on the next upgrade, so that's going to be huge for our army. We're tier 13, which means we're 1 away for a Warbear with our Frost Maiden here, which would be super handy, and we're going to get Arcane Conduit. Be really nice. We can get a Warbear for our Patriarch, so let's go ahead and do that. Make him a lot stronger tool in melee. And see, he's very handy for the healing that we get. Go to Kislev. Just still under siege, and these guys are just getting absolutely shredded by the attrition. And I'm going to let them just keep eating that attrition because it's going to weaken their army substantially, and they're wasting their time, honestly, which is great. Him wasting their time is a win for me. Let's see what kind of research we should do next. There's better income from trade. We can do some Ice Court research. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this ammo for my Ice Guards.
With this,
I do want to use more Ice Guards. They come typically a little bit later in the campaign. Skaven are doing right there. It's in this turn. There's gonna be a ton of corruption in our provinces, so there's gonna be rebellions and all kinds of stuff we're gonna be dealing with. So we need to get through the realm of Khorne and get home as quickly as we can. Quickly as we can. So let's see here. We get done with this turn. What Kugath does. I believe he already made his move, so there was no ambush. Let's go take a look. Got a rebellion. That's a Chaos Rebellion here. Got a decent garrison there. It's not great. Depends on what Chaos gets a hold of. Let's see. Oh, the Miao Ying just came through here as well. Kugath moved off and looks like he went to go grab that weapon.
Unhand the plague, father.
So Kugath is now armed and dangerous.
bring me to my tent.
I'm going to end another turn because that army will reappear here, or the other one will, and we can go fight it rather than having to get a plague from Kugath. So you all may think I'm being a little bit scared of him there, and I guess I am in a way. I don't want the plague because we're going to have to wait it out to be able to replenish and actually be able to fight a battle. Really irritating, the plagues that you get from Kugath. Very effective if you're Kugath, but very irritating when you're not Kugath. Defensive Alliance sounds great. The more friendly armies can roll around and potentially knock out like these guys raiding us, going for things, the better. We definitely want to make friends around us. Alright, Kugath now has...
Experimentation.
Yeah, we are at war with them. He now has enough to go and battle for this thing. We're blocking his path to it, though. I imagine he'll move this way. So I think this is the perfect time for the ambush. We're mostly replenished. We'll lay the ambush, and let's see if now he falls for the ambush. We get the kill. I mean, that would be ideal. These guys are wrecked. So is our army, unfortunately, but they are so beat. Their army is shredded in a great way for me. Oh, we got the ambush on Kugath. So let's fight this ambush. Now, we're going to remember this time that the AI just beelines it for the escape zone. So we're just going to set up on the escape zone, mow these guys down as they come through. Just a ton of Nurglings with a few other units, but Kugath himself is going to need to be focused with range fire in order for us to kill him effectively. All right, now as mentioned before the battle, Kugath, Commode Papa here, being carried around by Nurglings in a stench that has to be unbearable throughout the entire world, covered in his disgusting pustules. Look at him. This game is beautiful, but he is not beautiful. Anyway, his army is just beelining it straight towards the escape zone, but I remembered this time that that's the way the AI behaves. I do think it needs to be changed, because it makes these battles kind of pointless, to be honest. It's just a column marching right into your waiting arms. Stupid poison crap. Do a bunch of damage on me. So he's using all of his magic to do some damage to our Snow Leopard. My units are now positioned, and they have range, and Kugath is a rather large target. He is absolutely chock full of hit points, but he is going to get hit with the violent missile storm here, the likes of which he has probably not seen before. You can see all of my Cassars, my Ice Guard, armored Cassars, Cassars with great weapons. Everybody is just absolutely unleashing unholy Kislev death into his giant stinking toilet of a throne. And then I have used a bunch of ice magic and the Magma Storm, which was the special spell here that we had due to Lore of Fire. And so the Magma Storm went off. We caused huge damage over here to a bunch of Plague Bearers. And Kugath goes down. I nearly lose my Snow Leopard because he had a special Khorne weapon that kept my unit from moving. But now we're going to really start unleashing our missiles into these Plague Bearers, who are more dangerous infantry than the Nurglings. The Nurglings don't pose too much threat to me. So I'm going to use Katarin to slow down even more, and we're going to use our backline to continue to pour fire into the Plague Bearers. Meanwhile, the cute little Nurglings, I say cute, I mean they're ugly cute, but cute, wobbling and carrying and falling over each other on their way into combat. And they're going to be met with some gifts that they probably don't want here either. I've got a hailstorm ready for them. Bless their little pustules, that's gotta hurt. So you can see that we've got the Nurglings now falling apart. They are unstable due to leadership loss, and we have defeated Kugath. All right, we absolutely shut down Commode Papa there, so he is done. Look at the damage he still got done though. Turd has a lot of magic, and he had that weapon from Khorne, which made him quite powerful. But you know, that time is mostly just our ranged units doing insane work there. And it got spread across a lot of our units. No one unit was going to pick up a ton, but that was really some great work on the part of our units. We picked up a lot of cash. We can pick up a fair bit more and replenish slow, or we can just fill up on replenishment and get ready to go fight for the Brass Citadel, which is what I would intend to do. So we need to get home quickly. That's going to be about all the time, though, that I'm going to have for this episode. I'm not going to make hugely long episodes because it does take, like, for instance, if it takes me an hour episode, I probably spent closer to 2 hours making it by the time I go back and get the battles and edit and all that other stuff. And so I'm going to try and make these a little shorter just because that way at least I can make more content. Like if I make really long ones, it means that you just get less episodes. And it may not actually be better to have less, I don't think. So anyway, we've gotten all the stuff we need here to go and fight the battle for Khorne. Miao Ying is now here, and she has how did she get that so fast? She's almost got enough to fight it. She doesn't yet. I don't really think she should have that much, but she does for some reason. We're gonna get the Shield of Ice. And then I'm going to go ahead and start unlocking some magic here so that we can get to Winter, or Heart of Winter, which is a really powerful area of effect damage spell. We're going to grab the Warbear for our Frost Maiden, so now we're triple Warbeared for our heroes, so that's excellent news indeed. Go with Wild-Eyed here. And we're going to have to fight this. I'm going to auto-resolve it because the casualties should be minimal. We are not at war with Miao Ying, so I hope she doesn't try and fight us. But if she does, at least it means she won't beat us into the battle. She has to go and get some more combat. She's not even able to fight. And we did get this stupid freaking Nurgle plague. We must take shelter. I can still replenish from now. So I am going to move forward.
Follow your queen.
Replenish. Let's end a turn. And I freaking hate the Nurgle plagues so much.
So I prove
in this one. And yeah, Miao Ying's going to have to move off and look for someone to fight. This will give us a chance to get in here and fight this. If we do start taking attrition due to the Nurgle plague, at least we'll get to get into the Brass Citadel before it really takes a hold. Ungram wants to trade with us. He wants some money for it, but I'd like to have good relations with the dwarves, so I'll pay that money. They can give us a good flank to our east, help protect us. Looks like we've got a battle taking place up here. We're going to auto-resolve. That's Chaos Rebels coming after us. Go ahead and take the extra cash off that one. I'm going to pray to the skies to get a cooldown reduction on Lore of Ice. We are still replenishing, which is great. But this is going to be the perfect place to save it. So Brass Citadel, here we come. We're going to beat Miao Ying to the punch. She did manage to get up here and get enough points, but that's too late for her. We're going to get there first and take the opportunity. I will see you all in the next episode. HeirofCarthage signing up for now. Hope you all enjoyed this one.